Welcome to week 3 of the View from the Endzone on your sports network. Today we're joined by Coach Spider Miller from East Canton, who is on a 3-game win streak. They're 3-0 over in East Canton right now. And this week they just came off a win against Sandy Valley, 47-27. Coach Miller, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate this.
We're excited to cover the Hornets today. Again, like I said, you had a 47-27 victory. You're 3-0. Last year, you had a lot of young players. You came back this year with 8 seniors, I think you said. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, fantastic. So I took a look at your film. Really fun film to watch, scoring a lot of points right now. I noticed that in week 1, you had 38 points. Week 2, 49 points. And in week 3, 47 points. You guys are definitely finding a way to get to the end zone.
Well, we are doing a great job dishing the ball out to different people, whether we're throwing it or running it. And we have had some success putting some points on the board, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. You're off to a great start. And just watching the film, several players stood out to me, like your quarterback number 2, Owen McCrowski. Is that the correct way to say the last name?
Yes, Owen McCrowski.
Fantastic. And then your wide receiver, Aiden Stevens. Wide receiver, Stubblefield. What's his first name? James?
James Stubblefield.
James Stubblefield. Running back, Dylan Anderson. And then I was also impressed with number 52, lineman, Javen Walton.
Yep, Javin.
Okay, fantastic. So we're going to go through the film, Coach, and you can we're going to point out some of those guys as we look at. You'll be able to see it too, and we can kind of talk about your game this past week. We're going to start off with the game opened up with this pass to number 3. Nice catch. Your offense is always moving. We're going to take a look at this, and Coach, if you want to point anything out, feel free.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to see it.
That's all right. I noticed it was a comeback route. You guys moved the ball well. We can keep moving through this, Coach. Coach is actually joining us from his phone. So it's not as easy to catch these things, but we're just going to keep going through the film, Coach. And then our next play here is a red zone pass to number 11, Stubblefield.
Yeah, he ran a great route, and Owen McCrowski, he's poised in the pocket, or if we're sprinting him out, he's done a nice job finding the open receiver, and, he's just done a great job the last 3 weeks, along with a lot of the other guys, too. We're just hoping we can continue that success.
Absolutely. You're right. He does. He finds a way to find the open receiver. There's times where he takes off running. I notice he carries out his fakes really well, which helps you with that boot action that you guys do too.
Well, the play action does help, especially when you're running Dylan Anderson at tailback, and, you want to key on him. That makes it a little bit tougher, when we pull it and we boot out and get Owen out in the open, and he has the option to run or pass, and he did a nice job on both of those things.
Absolutely. Speaking of Anderson, this next play is a little toss near the end zone to Anderson for a touchdown.
He runs hard, but I will also say the point of attack was blocked very well. We got the edge on them, and our kids getting excited, and that's what it's about, having some fun. And sometimes you forget about that as a coach, but you've got to have some fun. And obviously when you're winning, it is fun.
Oh, yeah, that does make it a lot more fun. You're right about, you're the coach, and you are absolutely correct about the blocking on the edge. I had a note in here that your perimeter blocking is fantastic. Your blocking on the edge to seal it around on those toss plays was really well done too.
Well, we have practiced it quite a bit, and hoping that we could get the edge, and we did that, and did it more into the boundary, just because of the way they were lined up, and we've had some success with the jet as well as the sweep over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, we do have the jet play later on in our film clips here. This next clip is a red zone run again by Anderson, and again, our clips are a little bit messed up there. Here we go. This is a red zone run here. Great blocking on the edge again.
Well, again, the point of attack is, we're we're hitting the hole, but we also are giving him a crease. And Dylan runs hard. His motor never stops on offense or defense, so he only has one gear. So we're going to ride him when we can, and also throw the ball and dish it out to some other running backs as well.
Yeah, you can tell that he's got one gear. It's the gear to find the end zone. As we take a look at the next one here, we got a pass by Owen. I like this one here. He's coming around. He kind of boots out here and then throws across his body to the receiver that hooks up in the end zone, number 11, Stubblefield, I think.
Yeah, that's not an easy throw when you're sprinting out to your right, and but Owen has worked on all of that, and he found James Stubblefield open. James kind of slid into the open spot, and Owen hit him for a touchdown.
Absolutely. Now, talk a little bit about your defense in this next clip. I noticed you guys had quite a few tackles for loss. Here's another play where your defense swarms behind the line of scrimmage on Sandy Valley, gets a nice tackle for a loss.
We work on tackling every day. We have a tackle circuit on Tuesdays with 4 different stations, and we rotate our kids around. So you're getting form tackling, you're tackling the one arm, you're getting a strip drill, you're tackling the big wheel, or we're doing some type of cone reaction where we're coming on a ball carrier with 2 guys so he can't split us. So the kids, have taken pride. Tackling, you got to have heart, and that's the big thing. If you have heart, you're going to tackle somebody. Although I will say we had more missed tackles in this game, and credit Sandy Valley for that, but than we have had in the first 2 games. So we're stressing that and doing the little things right now. The little things turn into big things.
Absolutely. Always good to learn when you win, as I know you know.
Well, you never want to abandon the basics no matter what. So we go back to the basics, the little things every day of practice. It's not all scheme and, line up and just, offense and defense. We do a lot of individual work and group work together.
Well, this may not be one of your basics that you practice every day, but our next play is a 62-yard touchdown run by Owen. I noticed that the entire defense pretty much was fooled by this play as he comes out to the open side of the field.
Yeah, he's his speed is very deceiving. He's very fast. When you get him out in the open, he can go. And like I just saw the last part of it, it came up on my screen, and he had one goal there, and that was to get into the end zone.
Yeah, he was definitely motoring down the field. He almost outran the huddle camera, but it was able to catch up with him. Then this situation, you guys had missed an extra point in the game, so you run a 2-point conversion toss to number 20. Again, just pointing out great blocking, especially in the boundary here where there's not a lot of room.
Yeah, that's we just thought that we could exploit Sandy Valley a little bit more into the boundary than to the wide side of the field. And our kids did a nice job making contact, doing the things we asked them to do, getting their butts turned to give Dylan a hole. He doesn't need much.
He didn't need much, and I don't think he got touched until he got in the end zone. Again, we got defense coming up here. So you had a second quarter, actually not defense, you ran a little slip screen here late in the second quarter to gain some yards. This was a nice job by number 3.
Yeah, he's hard to tackle. He's slippery, and he ran a great route. And we always say great receivers have to be great blockers as well. And so we harp on that and blocking and practice a lot with our receivers, not just the linemen and backs. So we take pride in that, and hopefully we continue to get better.
Fantastic. And then before half, you picked up this nice field goal. This is a pretty long ranger here.
Yeah, he's got the leg. There's no question about that. And he did a nice job putting that up through the uprights. And actually we did a nice job blocking for him as well.
And this kick puts you up 26-14 going into half. You come out in the second half, and we're going to show this fourth down stop by your defense in the red zone in the third quarter. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Looks like Sandy Valley's going to throw the ball.
The big thing about Sandy Valley is we needed to contain their quarterback. I mean, he can run, and so can their tailback. He was very shifty. But the quarterback, our concern was not to let him run outside the pocket, which we did a good job, but he did cut back a couple different times across the grain and made some big gains. And, that's just having great run support angles. And we tried to correct that throughout the game, and coaches did a great job.
Yeah, that was a great fourth down stop. Great tackling there. And then you followed up with this next play, which is a 31-yard touchdown pass to Stevens, where he just blew by coverage.
Yeah, we just, he ran a really good route, and Owen made the connection, along with having some protection up front to buy him some time to make that connection. But that's great after a turnover or stop on fourth down that we can turn around and make a big play.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a nice play, putting you guys up 33-14. And then we're coming back here. We're not done offensively because, of course, you guys are working your way up to 47. But then we got Owen here. He takes it in for 20 yards out. Like you said earlier, he has the option to run or pass. He's making the defense pay here.
Well, and that's the beauty of spreading him out a little bit more, although he's done a nice job in the pocket as well, creeping up and finding a seam there. So, the big thing is we just need that line protection to buy him some time to get our receivers open and let Owen, make the connection.
Yep. Here comes Anderson running the ball again. This is a nice red zone run for about 20 yards, getting you ready to set up for your last score.
I'm not seeing any.
Yeah, I can explain it for the people online are seeing it, but that play, the hole was a mile wide. I'm not sure that he got touched until the point where he got to about 15 yards, 20-yard gain there down inside the 5. And then our last score for you guys was an 18-yard jet play to Stevens. Coming across the formation, taking it in for 18-yard touchdown.
What's nice about that is we can run the jet and come back and run the counter the other way. If they're going to overplay the sweep or the jet, then we can come back and run some stuff to the backside.
Yeah, it definitely set it up. That was a great job getting up to, 47 points, Coach. Is there a goal to get to 50?
No, the goal is just to win.
To win.
I'm not ever going to try to put points on anybody. I'm not that type of person. When you're ahead, you're not supposed to do that. But I know there's people that do that. But no, those are kids out there on both sides of the field, and they're just trying to do the best that they can.
And Coach, I know you're a very good person. I know you're just coaching to win football games and get your team to be successful. Absolutely. This week, we're walking into week 4. You're going to be visiting with a hungry team, St. Thomas, who's looking for their first win of the season. Tell us a little bit about your game with St. Thomas this week.
Well, we play over there, and St. Thomas is a young team. They don't have a senior on their team, so they're playing a lot of juniors and sophomores and some freshmen, and Coach Henderson and his staff do a great job. They're scary because they're fast. They're running a zone play, but it can be turned into a sweep because they move very well. And, besides the zone play, they're throwing the back out of the backfield, flaring him out or into the flats. So everybody's got to be held accountable. And defensively, I think they're really quick and they get to the ball. And records don't always indicate how you're playing. I thought they played really hard last week against TCC, to go against the wing T offense that TCC was running. That's a challenge. It's a challenge to get somebody to do it right on the scout team too. But you know, give them credit. They keep battling, and you know, we got to swarm to the ball in defense. We got to make tackles. We had too many missed tackles. We had too many penalties last week, and that's just all about having heart and getting the ball in the correct angles. And offensively, we need to exploit whatever they give us, and you know, run the ball and throw where needed.
Well, Coach, you know, it sounds like the guy that I know. Focus on the fundamentals, get better at everything you're doing. You're doing a fantastic job over there with the East Canton Hornets. Wish you continued success and congratulations on a great start to the season.
Hey, thank you. We'll take it. We haven't been 3-0 for years and years, so it's a good way to start, and it's better than being 0-3. So, you know, we're 3-0 and striving to get another one this weekend.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us, Coach, and good luck for the rest of the week.
Hey, thanks for having me. You guys have a good week, too. Thank you.
All right. Thanks again for joining us on the View from the Endzone on your sports network, YSN Live, and we'll see you next week.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of your sports network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.